All right, guys. I had to talk about this video that killed my feed because it's so freaking funny. Um, if you aren't aware of Phil Daru, he's like a MMA coach, specializing in strength conditioning. I used to follow him when I was into like MMA and trying to get stronger. He had some great exercise ideas. One that comes to mind that I used a lot back in the day was the sled drag from the neck, which was just a killer exercise. And I could just feel how that felt almost exactly like, keeping your neck straight, like in the clinch or something, you know what I mean? Or fighting like a snap or something, you know what I mean? So great, great sport specific exercises from Phil Daru. Now, the guy with them, you may have heard of, may have not have heard of him. It's David Weck. He's a trainer and sort of this guru kind of personality. I used to follow this guy a lot as well. Um, he's got great ideas, but man, he is battling some demons or something. I mean, pretty much every video I've seen him in the past 5 or 6 years, he looks blasted out of his freaking mind. I mean, this guy's gotta be on coke or something. I swear, I used to when I was on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram anymore. My page still exists, but I don't really, get on that. I kind of avoid a lot of social media these days. But when this guy was on Instagram and doing Instagram lives, they were the most batshit crazy things you've seen in your life. And this guy would be on like LSD, I assume. These are all assumptions, by the way. I can't prove this guy's on drugs. It just looks like he is. But he would just be, just frickin', facial muscles contracting in weird ways, like, kind of just sweating profusely, frickin' bouncing off the walls, talking in circles. Just insanity, guys. But at the same time, within that insanity or that intoxicated state or whatever he's in, he's planting some seeds of knowledge, and the guy's a legit trainer. I think he's kind of a genius in a way. He reminds me of watching videos of like Chris Farley or like David Bowie back in the day when those guys were just high out of their minds during interviews and how they would act. Kind of reminds me of those two. And David Bowie considered a musical genius. Chris Farley pretty much considered a comedic genius. R.I.P. to both of those guys, and and R.I.P. to David Weck who didn't get his fucking act together because this guy seems like he's just high all the fucking time. But let's check out this video, guys. I'm just gonna react to some of this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here.
Call this Raptor? This is like locomotive?
It looks like a raptor.
Like,
It looks like a raptor.
like Jurassic Park.
Can you?
Yeah, I mean, you can rewind and pause that because some of those faces he's making just reminds me so much of like watching guys in like the 80s and 90s on TV who were just coked to the gills, you know what I mean? Like jaw clenching, super sweaty. I mean, I don't know what happened before this video, but just look how drenched Weck is on the left compared to Daru. I assume they've been doing like similar shit together, and Daru's just like chilling. Meanwhile, this guy's sweating out everything.
Oh, like a raptor face on him right now. All right, we're back. David Weck Methods. Today we're gonna go over the kettlebell, what it would be exercise with the coil. So if you checked out the coil video, this.
So yeah, Weck's thing is the coil. That's like a big thing of his, like an exercise or more of a posture, I guess he talks about. Um, and it's similar to what's that freaking guy's name from the University of Georgia that everybody makes fun of. Oh god, it's gonna kill me. I can't think of this guy's name. The freaking wizard, the guy that gets made fun of all the time, the trainer from UGA that does all like the 90-degree isometric eccentrics or whatever, does all the weird freaking exercises. Dr. Joel Seedman, yeah, that freaking guy. Dr. Joel Seedman talks about the oblique sling. This guy, Weck, talks about the coil, somewhat similar concept, really just training your obliques, right? And training kind of, I don't know, the transverse plane of your body for like sport specific movement, how to strengthen the kind of throwing motion you see in many sports. Like, you could be throwing a ball, you could be throwing a punch, you could be throwing just yourself, like swimming or wrestling or climbing, like you're throwing your limbs around to like move yourself or move others. So that's kind of one of his things that he does. So you'll see a lot of oblique abdominal training here. And again, pretty cool stuff. I think it's great exercises. If you try them, you'll see they are pretty intense and they're working all the right places. But this guy is just such an eccentric personality and such a freaking crackhead.
Going to help with this. So what are we doing today?
Yeah, so this is a very simple adaptation or modification to a kettlebell swing. So basically what I'm going to do, I got a heavy kettlebell and a light kettlebell. I'll show you the heavy one first, and I'll show you the light one next, all right?
Okay,
I'll show it to you, and I'll explain what we're doing. So I'm going to take the kettlebell, and rather than just swing in neutral here, I'm going to come, and I'm going to differentiate. So coil and coil. See that? And I'm trying to pause up at that top. So it's here and here, just like that. And then what you can do for a fighter in particular, right, is you take a light kettlebell and you learn how to be here.
Okay.
There, right?
Yeah.
And there. So now I'm getting that over-under so that this is the bone architecture, this is the pull.
So those are pretty cool exercises, and this is something I see a lot of his videos. Like, he'll show something very unique, just tweaking like a traditional exercise and adding like novel components to it. And I think these are probably great exercises. I'm definitely gonna try that kind of offset or whatever you want to call it, kettlebell swing. That looks fantastic. But here's when he starts going, crackhead mode, and he starts like popping out all these jargon terms, and just check it out and you'll see what I mean. I'm not gonna go over this whole video, but I just wanted to show kind of like how crazy this fucking guy is.
So I've got a push and a pull, and you've got center line.
Okay.
Right?
So I'm pulling with the top arm, you're pushing with the bottom arm.
Yes, I'm bridging with the bottom with the bone. So that's, like if I'm in here, that's power, right? And this is long and it's pulling.
Okay.
Look at the guys in the background. One guy's on his phone. The other guy's got his hand on his chin, just like puzzled watching this.
Oh, you want to give that a try?
Yeah. And
So get the stagger the feet, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna you feel how you got that.
And I mean, again, notice how like out of breath and sweaty this guy is all the time. That's just like cokehead, I don't know, cokehead vibes to me. And again, I can't prove any of this. This is just my opinion. So like, shout out to Weck. I think he is a genius in the sports science world. I'm just saying, like, from what I see, guy's on drugs, dude. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. I mean, it's probably bad for his health in the long run, like, again, the guy reminds me of Chris Farley or, like, David Bowie. Both those guys have passed, due to drug use. Just kind of worrying, I guess. But let's check it out.
Pushing and not pulling, and then you just flip it over to the other side.
And I'm switching feet at the same
Yes,
time?
and what you can do is you can step with it.
Okay, hold on.
Step with it.
Okay. Oh.
Yes. Yes. Get it up. Yes.
And notice, again, like, the strength Weck has compared to Daru, who's about twice his size. Like, Daru's having trouble with this exercise. Now, obviously, that could be because he's not used to the exercise, right? It's his first time doing it, as far as I know. But still, you'd think with his size and general strength, I mean, look at the guy's fucking quads, good God. You'd think he'd be able to do this somewhat easily compared to Weck, who probably weighs like 150 pounds wet, you know what I mean? So it's another thing that makes me wonder, is Weck that strong and that adapted to this particular exercise, or is he just having that crackhead energy right now?
Yes! Beautiful. And you feel you feel how much that is.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
then with this puppy,
the obliques for sure.
Oh shit! And also what we worked on earlier with coil.
Yeah.
It's this side. You want it to be coiling here.
Yeah.
And this side is the long side here.
Yeah, pull in.
And again, it's about your skeleton, putting the bones in position.
Yeah.
Right. So that you got a high and a low. And a lot of guys, like we work with NFL guys, especially like a lineman in the D end. If you're the tackle and you're hitting me square, right? So just go slow motion, you're hitting me square. If I come here,
that's it. Change
right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can now swim, and I can now here.
And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like he'll say something really like interesting and thought provoking, and then it'll kind of just start going off the deep end. I don't know what the hell he's trying to say here with what he's trying to demonstrate here. I don't think Dara understands it either. But you know, it's like this is only like 50% Weck too. If you look up his live videos from like Instagram Live or something, that's like 100% Weck. It's just like it's like talking to a schizophrenic person or something. Like they think what they're saying is like makes a ton of sense because it does in their head, but it doesn't really make sense to most people.
Because if you're flat and I'm vertical, who's going to win that battle, right? I've got the over and the under.
I'm square, too.
And you're square.
Yeah.
Even if you've got this.
And Dara there, I think that was like a little bit of a polite call out. It's like, well, I'm square. You know what I mean? Like his feet are basically on the same plane, whereas Weck's are you know, in like actual stance, like one's in front of the other. So of course he's gonna be able to push Dara back because, you know, Dara's freaking feet aren't planted in a way that can basically defend against this push. But Weck is adding all this other kind of crazy, what in my opinion is kind of nonsense to the to the equation here to explain why he can push Dara.
If you're square and you don't know how to change it, the guy who knows this.
And it's like blading in boxing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You see, the commonalities are all there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the best already do it.
Yep.
What we want to do is we want to get the bullseye exactly where we know it needs to be by observing the best and then trying to do better.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
And then train those underneath components.
So I like this.
This is another thing like that cracks me about this video. Weck keeps kind of like getting into Dara's personal space. You can tell Dara's kind of like uncomfortable. He keeps like kind of backing up, like his body language with the arms on his side akimbo and like backing up from Weck constantly just kind of cracks me up because you got this guy, you know, half his size is potentially coked a little bit up. You can tell Dara's like a little bit uncomfortable being around this guy.
Let's say we did. This is somewhat of a potentiation too, because we can do the kettlebell iso hold into the swing.
Absolutely. They complement each other perfectly. So if I'm here, right, and I'm holding it like this, and then it's
Good.
I can change direction.
Now, while you're doing that, right? So as you're doing that, can you change? Can you stagger the feet with the swing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I could get it going, and I could
stack. Holy shit.
I could.
Now we're going in. Now that's a heavy kettlebell, guys.
Yeah, there's no holding that up.
I don't know what size it is. Yeah, that's an 88-pound kettlebell he's doing that with. So.
Yeah, so there's no holding it up.
Yeah.
But the intention to hold it up.
For sure, yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to watch this whole ass video. I think what Weck is demonstrating here is really cool. And again, I think the guy is somewhat of a sports science, or whatever you want to call it, exercise creation genius in a way. But yeah, the guy's just crazy, man. Like look up more of his videos and you'll see what I mean, especially like his live videos where he goes like 100% coked out, like schizophrenic mode. It's something else. And again, like nothing. This is not me trying to blast the guy and like badmouth him. I think I got nothing but good things to say for the guy, but he's got to be on drugs, man. It's entertaining, but it's also kind of concerning. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Shout out to Daru. I'll put this video link in the description. Shout out to Weck as well. Both these guys are pretty cool. Got some unique ideas in terms of strength conditioning, especially for combat athletes. So, anyway, y'all, take care. Peace.